Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. So, I'm just an idiotic, stupid dog. This is the Smelly, Melly, whatever you would say, offering. The most interesting thing about this offering is that we are actually existing in the past. We are operational in the past. It's a beautiful thing. It's a function of dog remembrance. If you don't know what dog remembrance was, I'll try to re-enlighten you. I probably said it, you should have remembered. As a dog, I only get to live, 1 year per every 7 human years. So at 15 or 16, I'm an old, decrepit dog. 16, 17, I'm going to die of old age. But dogs, for their short lifespan, get dog remembrance, where they can remember past their own existence, before their own birth, in this foggy haze of memories that floats in a crowd among all the canine species. So the canines have a cloud, and you can access it as a dog, and you can see things, sometimes vividly, most times, and especially the further you go back in the past, you see it's cloudy, it's hazy, but you can still see it. You can watch Woodstock. I can watch Woodstock in my own brain in my dog remembrance pretty vividly. I could, whatever else I could see. I could watch Neil Armstrong take his first step onto the thing in real time, as if I was there on the grainy, crappy TV. Anyways, we're existing in the past, which I think is kind of a cool, it's time travel, really, if you think about it. Melly is gravelly voiced and depressed, and the cops keep riddling him. They say, I'll riddle you this there, Melly. What did you do with the gun? What kind of gun did you have? Where's your gun? Melly's like, I told you I didn't have no gun. They're like, wow, come on. Melly, the cop says, Melly, what did you have? After a slow, awkward time, Melly admits he had a .38 revolver. Up to this point in this interrogation, Melly was hanging tough. He says, and maybe it's part of his plan, his ploy. He says, I had a .38 revolver. And I'm thinking to myself, as a stupid dog, Melly, why did you admit that? Why did you, do cops have some kind of a psychological power? Do they train these cops, or are cops born with this? Or how do cops wear you down psychologically until they get you to say just about whatever it is they want you to say? Melly's trying to hang tough. Melly's like, you're up against a superstar himself. I'm sticking to my story, copper. I don't even need a lawyer, Melly says. And then, so the one cop says, and I think it was the bad cop, sit up. You're a big boy. And as a dog, I was like, you shouldn't use boy. Sometimes it carries a racial connotation, but maybe the cop was like, the good cop was making reference to Smelly, Melly's mother. It's like, I'm here to help you, Melly. I love your mom, Melly. I'm here to help you, son. And the bad cop's saying, boy, sit your ass up straight. And I was wondering, is that some kind of psychological ploy, a push, pull, a yin, a yang? What kind of gun did you have? The bad cop says. The good cop says, you told us he had a .38. So what kind of gun did you have? And together they wear it down, and Melly says a .38. Well, maybe it was part of Melly's plan. I was like, Melly, why'd you tell me I had a gun and all, Melly? Gosh almighty, Melly's selling this thing where I had a gun. And the good cop said, so Melly, you both had .38s? And then after a pause, good cop says, did he have a gun or didn't he? Melly pauses. So the good cop finishes his own thought. He says, if he didn't have a gun, what did he have? What sort of weapon there, Melly? I mean, was this guy wielding a samurai saber or something? Melly says the guy with the .38 was trying to shoot him. So he took his gun off him and started running up to higher floors to this overlooking balcony. This balcony was like a military, the high ground. They took, the high ground. They had the vantage point, so to speak. So Melly runs out on this balcony with this 38 he just took off this evildoer. The guy was shooting at him. Somehow Melly gets close enough, takes the fucking gun off the guy, and starts sprinting up to higher floors to get to the balcony. At which point, when he takes possession of the balcony, he plants his flag on the balcony. He takes a pot shot towards his pursuers. Keeper, sheep, pursuer, my goodness gracious. And, that's Melly's story. He takes a pot shot towards his pursuers, and the bad cop says, "So you took this guy's gun off him, and now, what, you've got two guns? His gun and your gun?" And Melly says, "I didn't have no gun. His gun was my gun." Melly's like, we both possess the gun, if you will, legally, so to say, simultaneously. We both possessed it at once, as it were. The gun, in fact, at this point of the story, is both mine and my evil assayers, Melly says. Melly says, he didn't have no gun. His gun was my gun. See? And I'm thinking, the bad cop, he says, Gilmar, what did you do with the gun? Gilmar, where did you throw the gun? The most interesting thing about this take, though, is that it's as if we are, because we really are, existing right now, currently, in the past. We have time traveled, and we are existing in the past. And so, at least we got that going for ourselves. I mean, I find that to be, I'm an interact stupid dog, I find that to be really interesting. And, it's something to do on a boring, Sunday afternoon.